Thank you for joining Stretch and Flow with Rashi. We hope you enjoy this class. Don't forget to subscribe.
I decided over the last couple of days to revisit the power of love. There's a beautiful song, which you can't hear through Zoom, but there's a beautiful song called The Power of Love. And if anybody wants it, I'll send you the link. But yeah, started to revisit the power of love, one of my favorite topics. But more so, the power of love in the sense of people that you find a bit hard to love. And the power of that when you make the choice then to put aside those feelings, perhaps, and choose the feeling of love. So anyway, let's practice, and I'll explain more as we practice. So coming into a seated posture, use your blocks or your bolsters if you feel you need some support. And let's get really grounded to start with. So shut the eyes down or take that little gaze down at the mat. Now, for a lot of us that find it easy to love in many aspects, especially those that are empathetic or find it easy to serve and love other people, it's good sometimes when our heart is so big and open to really ground ourselves as well. So with that in mind, feel the pressure of your sit bones, wherever they are, whether they're on the mat or a bolster or a cushion. Make an effort just to perhaps consciously press them in a little further so you're grounded in the physical and emotional sense. Grounding is wisdom. Then let the rest of the body just lift up. Notice if you're feeling a little cool, and perhaps the parts of your body that feel a little more cool than others, maybe the fingers and the toes. And then notice your breath. The power of love. Let that just simmer in your mind and your heart. And perhaps just as you're grounding, just notice the people that you find easy to love. You might have a list that you can reel off. Almost taking that internal smile as you think of their faces. And then maybe the people that you find a little harder to love for whatever reason. We're not being judgmental, just curious. And perhaps there's a struggle there, certain qualities about them or aspects that you find it hard to love, past, present. Doesn't matter. Come back to your breath, the inhale and the exhale. Soften the shoulders, sit up a little taller as the collarbones widen a little, but keep that groundedness with the sit bone. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. A big letting go sigh out the mouth. Let's do one more. Breathing in and breathing out. Place the hands over the knees or the thighs, however you're seated. Open the eyes if they're shut. Just gaze at something in front of you. Keep that groundedness in the sit bones. On the breath in, you're keeping grounded, but just gently lifting up through the crown of the head so the spine lengthens. And as you breathe out, push the left shoulder forward and gaze over the right. Feel that initial twist. Inhale, come back through to center. Exhale over the other side, pushing the right shoulder forward, gazing over the left. Keep that groundedness in the lower half of the body. Come back to center, take a deep breath in. We're doing one more on each side. So on the exhale, we're taking the twist. On the inhale, coming back to center, a subtle lifting up and exhale over to the other side. And then come back to center. Again, keeping that center point. So keeping grounded, start to lean to the right side. Feel that little stretch in the left side. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale, back to center. Take a breath in. Start to lean to the right this time again on the exhale. And this time the body comes forward. Again, we're focusing on that groundedness. We're not lifting the sit bones up. Over to the left side. And then it's back as rock back as much as you feel to. Keeping everything steady. Do one more in the same direction. Noticing any tender spots, any parts that are feeling a little niggly this morning. Often through love, things that, from my experience anyway, things that seem bitter can start to become a little sweeter. Make 2 rotations in the opposite direction, just taking your time. You might find that you might need to engage the core a little as you take the rotations, just to keep you a little steadier. And then do another one. Once you finish those circles, just coming back to a neutral posture, lift up through the crown of the head, shrug the shoulders up to the ears, a big letting go sigh out. Release any tension in that area. One more, breathing in and breathing out. Interlace the fingertips, palms facing down this time, elbows really wide. Feel that initial stretch as you push down with the palms, but then on the breath in, lift the palms up under the chin, feel the spine lengthen. As you breathe out, pushing away, rounding the back. Inhale, let's take the stretch, reaching all the way up, perhaps the back bend. Exhale, out to the side. Feel the stretch. Interlace the fingertips behind you. A deep breath in. Let's open the heart. Ground with the sit bone. And as you exhale, round the back, split the arms out to the side and reach forward. Interlace the fingertips, palms facing down as you guide everything back in. Inhale, hands up under the chin. Exhale, pushing away, rounding the back. Breathing in, swooping the arms all the way up and over. Exhale out to the side. Interlace the fingertips behind you. Take a deep breath in, squeeze the shoulder blades and gaze up. And as you breathe out, reaching all the way forward. Let's do one more. I'll just cue the breath. Inhaling. Good. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, reaching forward, feeling that stretch. Make a pistol grip as you reach the arms all the way up. Pull the arms over the crown of the head. As you exhale, over to one side, bend the elbows over the head. So you're feeling that stretch down the opposite side. Breathing in, you're rising up. And breathing out over to the other side. One more on each side. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, taking the stretch. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, reach the arms up, split the fingertips. Right hand on left knee, left hand behind. Pull the knee towards you on the breath in as though you're lengthening. And on the breath out, take a twist over that left shoulder. Another breath in, pull the knee towards you as you rise up. And as you breathe out, perhaps a deeper twist. Everything comes back round to center. Float the arms up, open the heart a little more. And this time, left hand on right knee, right hand behind. Pulling the knee towards you on the breath in. Taking a twist over to the right. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to twist. Everything comes back round to center. Walk the hands in front or whichever transition. Let's come onto all fours. Coming onto all fours first. Palms are shoulder width distance. Knees are hip width distance. Dig the toes in and just rock backwards and forwards. So you're getting a little stretch of the arches as you rock back, engaging the core as you rock forward. Noticing how the mind is right now. When we replace fear, hate, and anger with love, often it gives us a sense of freedom. Fear, hate, and anger often brings constriction within our physical bodies first, and then within our own mind. Let's just make some circles with the hips. Perhaps just do one in one direction and one in the other direction. Noticing how the body's feeling as you take the rotation. Keep the gaze down low so there's no straining in the neck. And then once you finish the second circle, coming back to a neutral posture, spread the fingertips wide, push the waist back as you gaze up. And as you exhale, rounding and arching. Let's do a couple more. Breathing in, waist goes back as the gaze goes up. And as you breathe out, rounding and arching. One more. Inhaling and exhaling. Come back to a neutral posture, equal weight in the palms. Extend the right leg behind you. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, bend the knee and stack it over the left hip. Keep that equal weight in the palms. Rotate that right ankle one way and then the other way. Gaze is down low. One more breath. Then extend the right leg behind you. Take a breath in, cross it over to the left, land it on its toes and slide it back. So we're doing like a little mini vinyasa here. So stay on the palms. You can drop onto the forearms if you want. So take a breath in, push out through the sole of the foot. As you breathe out, you're just dropping that right knee down, giving it a little tap on the mat or ground, and then inhale, lifting the leg up and pushing out through the sole of the foot. Exhale to drop down. Inhale, lifting up, giving it a little push. You might feel a pull in the left glute. Do a couple more. Yeah, that's it. Dropping down, tapping the knee, and then lifting up, pushing out through the sole of the foot. One more. Breathing in and breathing out. Feel the stretch. One more breath here, and then swing that right leg back behind you just at hip height. Equal weight in the palms. Either stay with both hands on the ground or extend the left arm forward. Feeling the balance, make sure the core's engaged. Reach forward with the left fingertips, push back with the right sole of the foot. One more breath here. And then just drop everything down to the ground. Take the pressure off that right palm by placing the fingertips towards you and then just rocking back and forward. So we're just stretching that ligament out. Be careful. It feels like a nice stretch. Go back a little more. One more breath here. And then flip the palms so the fingertips are facing back towards the front of the mat. Press into the palms, dig the toes in. Let's just come up for downward facing dog. Getting that nice extension of the spine. Dropping the head down, pushing the upper body back towards the thighs. And bending the knees as much as you need to. You might want to check out how those legs are feeling by pushing one knee in at a time. If you want to receive love, like anything, perhaps you just need to give love. There's somebody that you find is unlovable. My invitation is to love them anyway. Coming back, pushing the upper body back towards the thighs. One more breath. Take a glance up towards your palms. Take a breath in, either a little jump or a step up towards your palms. Once you're there, hang in ragdoll. Just let that upper body be heavy, a gentle rock from side to side. Notice how the back of the neck and the shoulders are feeling. You might want to just give them a little shake, yes and no. With the arms, almost like you're making some semicircles around the feet. Just take a gentle sway from side to side.
keeping the crown of the head heavy. And then come back to neutral. On the breath in, a halfway lift. On the breath out, a forward fold. On the inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. The palms meet at the top. Feel the spine lengthen. As you exhale, hands to your heart space. This time you're grounding with the feet. Inhale, you reach up, but press the feet into the mat. Exhale, down to your mat. Empty the breath. A halfway lift and a forward fold. Let's do one more. Breathing in, reaching all the way up. Breathing out, hands to your heart space as you empty the breath completely. Inhale, a deeper back bend as the arms reach up and over. As you exhale, down to your mat, empty the breath. A halfway lift. And this time as you empty the breath, hands on the mat. If you want a gentler practice, all fours, take some cat-cow curls. If you want strengthening, come into high plank. If you need to drop the knees, go ahead. A breath in to prepare if you're in high plank. As you breathe out, coming down, or you're taking some cat-cow curl. Inhale, push yourself up to up dog or cobra if you're not feeling as warm. Exhale, downward facing dog or all fours position. You choose what's right for your body. We'll be here for about 3 to 5 breaths. If you're in downward facing dog, make sure the sit bones are up towards the ceiling. You're getting that nice extension of the spine. If you're on all fours, you just take some cat-cow curls or rocks from side to side. One more breath here. If you're in downward facing dog or all fours, drop the knees wide, bring the 2 big toes together. Just drop into child's pose for a couple of breaths. Arms can be extended or down by your heels if the shoulders are feeling a little bit sensitive. Notice where your mind is right now. Perhaps the person or people that you thought of at the beginning of the class that you find unlovable. Perhaps dedicate this practice to them. Darkness can't drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate can't drive out hate. Only love can do that. Take a breath in. Let the breath go. Press into the palms. Start to lift the hips up. Bring the knees back to hip width distance. Let's take one cat-cow curl here. Waist goes back as the gaze goes up. And as you exhale, rounding and arching the back. Back to a neutral posture. Soften through the shoulders. This time, extend the left knee, left leg behind you. Push out through the sole of the foot. Keep that equal weight in the palms. And then we're bending that left knee, stacking it over the right hip, noticing any difference on this side. Keeping that eye gaze low. Rotating the left ankle one way and then the other way. One more breath. Then extend the left leg behind you just at hip height. Take the breath in. And this time crossing it over to the right, landing it on its toes. You can go onto the forearms if you want, or just stay on the palms. So take a breath in, push out through the sole of the foot. And as you breathe out, that left knee just gives the ground a little tap. Inhale, a lift and push out through the sole of the foot. Exhale, a little tap. Inhale, pushing out. 2 more like that. Just in your breath cycle, feeling the stretch in the right glute and hip. And then once you've done your 2, pressing into the palms, engaging the core as you bring that left leg back behind you, just at hip height, pushing out through the sole of the foot, either staying here or engaging the core a little bit more and bringing the right arm forward. Drop the gaze down. Push the mat away with that left palm. 1 more breath, feel the spine lengthen, and then everything drops down onto the mat. And this time, flip the left palm so the fingertips are facing you. And then just take those gentle rocks backwards and forwards, feeling the stretch down the left wrist. Sometimes when we've been hurt by those that love us or care for us, or life has given us some challenging experiences and trauma, we can close our heart off. And when we close our heart off, our love, receiving love and giving love can be affected. Even though it sounds the opposite, sometimes we have to keep on breaking our heart until it opens. One more breath. Flip the palm back so it's facing the front of the mat. Let's take another cat-cow curl here, inhaling and exhaling. Coming back to a neutral posture, walk the hands back towards the knees. This time, dig the toes in, widen through the collarbones. On the breath in, sweep the arms out to the side and up. And on the breath out, bring the hands to your heart space. Start to lean back a little. Feel the stretch in the arches, the quads were working. Breathing in, sweep the arms out to the side and reach up. Perhaps pull the arms over the head. And as you exhale, hands to your heart space, an option to lean back a little. Good. One more. Breathing in, reaching up and breathing out. Sinking down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, a swan dive down to your mat. Land on the finger mounds, and this time come into puppy pose. Chest down, hips up. Really feeling that nice extension of the spine. If you want that stretch in the upper back, you just turn the eye gaze up towards the front of the mat. Notice the quality of your breath right now. Notice where your mind is. Can you do all things, even the challenging ones, even the ones perhaps you don't like as much? Can you do all things with love? One more breath. Let's gently walk the hands up, coming back onto all fours. Let's take a cat-cow curl here. A breath in and a breath out. Back to a neutral spine. Extend the right leg behind you. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, land it in between your palms. Get that steadiness and stability first, and then breathe the body up. Interlace the fingertips, palms facing down, and place them on that front thigh. You might want to scoot the foot out to the right and the front a little bit more if you want more of an opening in the hips. So on the breath in, it's like you're pushing the palms down on the thigh and lifting up through the crown of the head. We're grounding again. And on the breath out, pushing that right thigh forward, feeling the hips starting to open. Yeah, beautiful. Breathing in, push down, lift up, and breathing out, pushing away from you. One more. Inhaling and exhaling. Come back to neutral. Slide the right arm around the back. The left arm drapes over that right thigh. Take a breath in to lengthen. Either twist at the waist and keep the gaze in front, or gaze over that right shoulder. So keep that groundedness. Breathing in to lengthen. Press into the feet. Breathing out, perhaps a deeper twist. One more. Everything comes back round to center. The arms reach up. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, drop the left hand down onto the mat. Keep the right arm extended. A breath in, you're reaching up. As you breathe out, reach back. Make a rotation with that right arm as you lunge forward with the right knee. Inhale, you reach up. Exhale, take the circle. One more. Breathing in and breathing out. We'll meet with that right arm extended. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, drop it down onto the mat. Come onto the ball of the back foot, lift the leg up. Straighten that front leg to your degree. You're pushing out through the sole of the back foot, straightening the front leg. A breath in, a halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. As you breathe out, bring nose to knee. Soften the back of the neck. With each inhale, a subtle lengthening. With each exhale, perhaps coming down a little bit lower. One more breath. And then glance to the top of the mat. Lunge with that right knee. Push out through the ball of the back foot. Take a breath in as you breathe out. Step forward and hang in ragdoll. Just let the breath settle. Let the mind settle. Love, I read somewhere that love is like a breeze. Sometimes we can't see it, but at times we can feel it. Every one of us inside has the innate infinite power to heal and help one another through the impact of our love. One more breath here. On the inhale, a halfway lift. On the exhale, a forward fold. On the breath in, sweep the arms up. Let's interlace the fingertips at the top. Pull the palms over the head a little. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, take a stretch to one side. Bending the elbows, let's hold it here. Really feel that stretch. A breath in, let the breath go. Inhale, push yourself back up. Push the feet into the mat. And exhale over to the other side. We'll hold this one. A breath in, let the breath go. Inhale to reach up. As you exhale, bend the knees down, tailbone heavy, seated chair, and push the elbows out to the side. So again, length through the crown of the head, but the tailbone's dropping down. On the breath in, sweep the arms up. Palms meet at the top, perhaps a back bend. Exhale, we're doing that again, bending the elbows, bending the knee, pushing the palms out to the side. Let's do one more. Breathing in, sweeping up, and breathing out, perhaps down a little bit lower. Feel the stretch in the arms, feel the hips. One more breath. Good. Inhale to reach up, palms meet at the top. Exhale to your heart space. Empty the breath. Breathing in, reaching up and over. And breathing out, a swan dive down to your mat, emptying the breath. A halfway lift. As you exhale, again, your choice, you either take high plank to low plank or take a cat-cow curl. Make sure you engage your core. Drop the knees if you need to. Breath in to prepare. Breath out, you're coming down. Inhale, a back bend. Exhale, either all fours or downward facing dog. Decide what's right for your body. Let's take 4 to 5 breaths here, either in downward facing dog or all fours. Either bring stillness or take some gentle stretches. Sometimes we need to let the fear go. It's often fear, often trauma from our past experiences that stop us from fully loving. A great freedom is achieved when we let go of the fear and live our life with the power of love. One more breath. If you're in downward facing dog, just drop the knees down. We'll all meet on all fours. Let's take a cat-cow curl here. A breath in, waist goes back, gaze goes up. And as you breathe out, rounding and arching, coming back to a neutral posture. When you're ready, the left leg extends behind you. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, landing it all the way through. Notice any difference on this side in flexibility. Focus your eye gaze, ground with the feet, and then breathe the body up. And this time interlacing the fingertips, placing it on that left thigh. You can scoot the foot out to the left or forward a little bit to open the hips. So on the breath in, we're pushing down, really lengthening through the crown of the head. And on the breath out, pushing that left thigh away, feeling the hip open on the other side. Breathing in to lengthen.
breathing out to push away. One more, inhaling and exhaling. Come back to neutral. Wrap the left arm around the back, the right arm drapes over the thigh. A breath in to lengthen. Either keep the gaze neutral or turn and twist and gaze over the left shoulder. Breathing in to lengthen again. Breathing out, perhaps a deeper twist. Everything comes back round to center. Float the arms up. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, drop the right hand down. Keep the left arm extended. A breath in, you reach up, and as you breathe out, lunging forward with the left knee, the arm reaches back and you take that big rotation. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, reaching back. One more. Breathing in and breathing out. We'll meet with that left arm extended. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, drop it down onto the mat. Come onto the ball of the back foot, lifting the leg up. Straighten the left leg to your degree. It doesn't have to be straight. And then on a breath in, a halfway lift. On a breath out, nose to knee. Feel the stretch down the leg. One more, inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling, floating down, soft neck. And then lunging with that left knee, pushing out through the ball of the back foot. Take a deep breath in as you breathe out, stepping forward, and we're back in ragdoll again. Just let that upper body hang heavy. If you need to bend the knees, go ahead. Regulate the breath if you need to. The inhale and the exhale. And just let the upper body just be nice and floppy. Love is giving someone the power to destroy you, but also trusting them not to. It's a powerful statement. Love is giving someone the power to destroy you, but also trusting them not to. On the breath in, a halfway lift. On the breath out, a forward fold. This time, the left hand stays on the ground. You can use a block if you like, if you need a bit of height, or the left finger mounds, or the palm if you can reach. Push the left knee forward and the right hip back and extend the right arm up. Gaze can be down at the mat or up at that top thumb. If you want a little more, push the left knee a little bit more forward. If you want a little more in that right leg, lift the toes up and you feel a stretch down that leg. One more breath. As you exhale, let's swap over. Right hand comes down, right knee pushes in, left hip pushes back and the left arm reaches up. Or you can just keep it down at the mat. And then if you want that little bit in the left leg, lift the left toes up as well. You feel a deep stretch there. One more breath. Exhale, hand comes down. Inhale, a halfway lift. Exhale, a forward fold. Breathing in, reach the arms all the way up. And as you breathe out, just bring everything down to your heart space. Release the right knee up. Take a glance somewhere to keep your gaze focused. Weights in the left foot. Open that right hip. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, you're stepping in the right foot back. Angle it to give you that stability. Left knee's in a subtle lunge. You're breathing in. You're breathing out. On the breath in, sweep the arms up, straighten the front leg. On the breath out, open up to warrior two. Left arm in front, right arm behind, adjusting the feet as you need to. Flipping that front palm. On the breath in, you're reversing, reaching up and over. On the breath out, warrior two. A couple more like that. Inhaling, grounding with both feet. Exhaling. One more. Breathing in and breathing out.
Let's straighten the front leg, reach forward with the left arm, the right hip pushes back. Feel that stretch in that inner left thigh, and then come into triangle pose. Left hand floats down to the mat, right arm up towards the ceiling. So trying not to crush that top shoulder open, really open up the right side of the body. Angle your eye gaze so there's no strain in the neck. For some of you, that's down at the mat. Some of you may want to gaze up at the top hand. Really press down into the feet. One more breath here. Push down into the feet, engage the core. Let's come back through warrior two. The back hand comes to meet the front hand. Make a prayer, guide the hands back into your heart space. Take a breath in here, and as you breathe out, over to the left for a twist, either staying upright like this or good, leaning forward, right elbow over left thigh. If you want to, you can open the arms up as well, or just keep the palms together, lots of different options. One more breath. The palms are apart, bring them back together, bring everything back to the front of the mat. Inhale, the arms reach up. Take a deep breath in, maybe pull the arms over the head. As you exhale, come down and frame that front foot. Pivot on the ball of the back foot if you haven't already. Right hand stays on the ground. Inhale, the left arm reaches up. Keep the gaze at the top thumb or down at the mat if there's sensitivities in the neck. One more breath, reach up a little taller. And as you exhale, drop the hand back down. Gaze at the top of the mat. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, step forward and hang in ragdoll again. Just let the upper body be heavy. Regulate the breath. Simple inhalation and exhalation. My encouragement is to choose love, even in those moments when you struggle to like. Love is sometimes a commitment, not a feeling. But choose wisely. Doesn't mean being a doormat or being abused. It's just choosing love at those times when those strong emotions might take over. On the inhale, a halfway lift. On the exhale, a forward fold. This time on the inhale, press down into the mat with the feet. Hug the inner thighs. Come up really slow. So you're using all your muscles, your core, your legs to come all the way up. Shoulders peel back. Lift up through the crown of the head. A deep inhale. Shrug of the shoulders up. A big letting go sigh out the mouth. One more. Breathing in, shrug the shoulders up, and then let the breath go. Bring the hands to your heart space. Focus your eye gaze this time as the weight's in the right foot. The left knee comes up, a little balance here, and then open the left hip and step the left foot back. Adjust the feet as you need to. That back leg is nice and firm. The right knee is in a little lunge. On the breath in, straighten the front leg. The arms reach up and perhaps over the crown of the head. And as you exhale, opening up warrior two on the other side, making those micro adjustments in the feet so that you're completely grounded. Flip the front palm. On the breath in, reaching up and over. On the breath out, warrior two. A couple more like that. Breathing in and breathing out. One more. Inhaling and exhaling. Straighten the front leg. This time reach forward with the left fingertips as the right hip pushes back, left hip pushes back, and then float the right hand down towards the mat as the left arm reaches up. Again, adjust the gaze to serve your neck. Grounding with the feet, keeping the breath nice and fluid. One more breath here. Pressing down first, engaging the core, coming back through to warrior two. The back hand comes to meet the front hand. Guide the hands back into your heart space, into a prayer. A breath into lengthen, and this time a twist over to the right. Again, keeping upright or taking that lean forward, hooking left elbow over right thigh, opening up the arms if that's part of your practice, or just staying upright if you're wanting a gentler practice. Hold it for a breath in. Let the breath go. And then bringing everything back to center. The arms reach all the way up. Perhaps another back bend. And as you empty the breath, come down and frame that front foot. Pivot on the ball of the back foot if you haven't already. This time you're pressing into the left hand and breathing the right arm up for a twist. Reach up nice and tall. Push out through the sole of the back foot. You lunge forward with the right knee. One more breath. As you exhale, dropping the hand down, gazing at the top of the mat, take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, step forward and come back into ragdoll again. Regulate the breath. Notice with a little bit of cardio, it might have just got a little bit quicker. Let's slow it down a little bit now. Know that love is such a powerful emotion. It has both the power of healing someone, but also destroying someone. It can heal wounds and can put a person back together piece by piece. On the breath in, a halfway lift. On the breath out, a forward fold. On the inhale, sweep the arms up. Take a breath in, the palms meet at the top. As you exhale, bring everything to your heart space as you empty the breath. Inhale, reaching up and over. Exhale, down to the mat. Empty the breath. A halfway lift, a nice flat back. And as you empty the breath, place the hands on the mat. Bring the knees nice and wide and just drop into child's pose for a few breaths here. Hips to heels, arms either in front or down by your heels, depending on how the shoulders are feeling. Just let the body settle. Another beautiful grounding pose, forehead on the mat. Feel the extension of the spine. And just regulate your breath. Being deeply loved gives you strength. And loving deeply gives you courage. One more breath. Let's float the arms over to the left side, placing the right palm on top of the left. If you want to make it more active, you can come onto the finger mounds and creep them to the left. Hips push to the right. Feel the stretch down the side. Keep the gaze low so there's no straining in the neck. One more breath here. Walk the hands through center. Let's take it over to the right side, either staying on the finger mounds, creeping them forward, or placing the left palm over the right. Hips to the left as the arms pull to the right. And then bringing the hands back through center, stay on the finger mounds, creep them forward. Gaze is low. You're pushing the hips to the back of the mat as the fingertips reach to the front. Feel that nice stretch in the hips and the spine. One more breath here. And then place the palms down on the mat as you push into them and lift the hips up, bringing everything back onto all fours. Let's take a cat-cow curl here. Breathing in and letting the breath go. Back to a neutral posture. Let's swing the ankles out to the side, coming down onto your sit bones. Extending the left leg forward and crossing the right foot over the left. Just push out through the sole of that left foot. Point the toe away from you. Feel the stretch down the calf. And then push out through the sole as you lift up through the crown of the head. Just do one more like that. Pointing the toe away. And then dig the heel in, push out through the sole of the foot. Left arm wraps around the right knee, right arm behind. A breath in to lengthen. As you breathe out, twisting over that right shoulder. Inhale, you're lengthening again. Exhale, you're twisting. Bring everything back around to center and just swap over. So right arm wraps around the right knee, left arm behind, opening up the other side of the body. A breath in to lengthen. A breath out to twist. Another inhale and exhale. And then bring everything back around to center. Hands either side as you just slide the left foot up. Right ankle should automatically come over the left knee. Push out through the sole of that right foot. Feel that hip open. Take a back bend here. You can keep everything on the ground or lift the hips up. Gaze is forward or back. Just holding it for a count of 3, 2, 1. Drop the hips down. Cross the right knee over the left. Let the knees fall to the left as you gaze over that right shoulder. Quite a deep twist. Breathing in a subtle lengthening. Breathing out, perhaps twisting a little bit more over that right shoulder. One more breath. Use your core to bring the knees all the way back up. Uncross the legs. This time extending the right leg down, crossing the left foot over. Sitting up nice and tall with integrity. Point the toe away, the right toe, and then dig the heel in, push out through the sole of the foot. One more. Breathing in and breathing out. And this time the right arm wraps around the left knee, left arm behind. A breath in to lengthen. As you breathe out, turn and gaze over that left shoulder. Breathing in, you're lengthening. And breathing out, twisting a little bit more. Keep the jaw soft as everything comes back round to center. Hands either side, sliding the right foot up. Left ankle over right knee. Again, notice any difference. Push out through the sole of that left foot. Feel the hip opening. Either stay on the ground or lift the hips up. Gaze is forward, or you can drop the head back. Keep pushing out through the sole of the left foot for 3, 2, 1. Hips gently drop back down. Crossing left knee over right. This time knees to the right and you gaze over that left shoulder. A breath in, you're lengthening. Keep the collarbones wide. A breath out, perhaps twisting a little more. Everything comes back round to center. Uncross the legs. Come to the top of the mat. Knees have a little bend. Feet are hip width distance. On the breath in, let's reach up with the arm. On the breath out, engaging the core as you start to soften down, soft shoulders. On the breath in, you're reaching up again, taking the breath in, reaching up nice and tall. And on the breath out, sinking down a little bit more. One more. Inhale to reach up. And this time coming all the way down. So use your core. If your back's taking the weight, you just drop down onto the mat. Feel the upper body land first. Let it settle the shoulders and the spine. And then bring those knees in for a squeeze. Perhaps a rock, or to make a figure of 8 or some circles one way. And then the other way. Split the knees apart. You can either hold on to the big toes or place the hands on the inner thighs and come into a wide-legged straddle, stretching the legs out, pushing out through the soles of the feet. Legs don't have to be straight. They can have a subtle bend as long as you're feeling a stretch. Feel the stretch in the inner thighs. Try and keep the tailbone pushing down onto the mat, grounding with your spine. One more breath. Gently bring the feet back together, Knees into the chest as you drop the feet down onto the mat. Pressing into the feet, pressing into the spine, pressing into the palms. Take a breath in, let the breath go. On your next inhale, pushing down into the palms and the feet as you lift up for bridge. Keeping the quads on, the knees pushing forward, glutes are engaged. Opening the heart a little, keep the shoulders on the mat. One more breath. As you exhale, just lower all the way down. And then coming into your inversion of your choice, you might want to take an active inversion, taking that again, or shoulder stand, or use your blocks. If you're wanting a more supportive one, a bridge or supported shoulder stand, legs up. Whichever inversion you're taking, keep the eye gaze at one spot so you're not looking around. And let's just stay here and slow down the breath consciously as we take a more calming posture. Try not to let the mind get pulled into the next part of your day. And the power of love, as with everything that I teach in mindfulness, starts with yourself. Do you love yourself fully? And if you don't love yourself fully, how can you possibly love somebody else fully? Love is one of the emotions that vibrates at the highest frequency you can emit. And the greater the love you feel and emit, the greater the power you are harnessing. Taking a few more breaths here. And then very, very gently, just start to make your way out of your inversion. Just let the whole of the body just ground down on the mat again. Make sure the shoulders and the spine are pressing into the mat. I'll just finish off with a twist. So bringing the right knee in for a squeeze, the right arm comes out to the side. Use your left palm to take a twist over to the left, gaze to the right. Feeling that twist in the spine, really pushing that knee over, but keeping the shoulders on the mat. Taking a breath in here, letting the breath go. Guiding that right knee back, extending the leg back down, adjusting the hips if you need to. And then the left knee comes into the chest. Left arm comes out to the side as you guide the knee over to the right, turning the chin to the left. Keep that breath flowing. And then guiding that left knee all the way back, extending the leg back down, crossing one ankle over the other, locking the feet, interlacing the palms, pushing the palms away from you as you point the toes, taking a full body stretch, a deep inhale in, a long exhale out. If you want to get into the side body, point the toes and sweep the arms over to one side. Taking a breath in, letting the breath go, coming back through center, and then perhaps taking them over to the other side as you point the toes. Coming back to center, just uncross the ankles, release the fingertips, take a full body stretch. Breathing in, arms reach back, pointing the toes away from you. And as you exhale, just settling yourself into the final posture. Getting nice and comfortable. And I'll guide you when it's time to come back in. For now, just get comfortable, slow down your breath, slow down your mind, and let the body just rest. Just without moving, just notice the inhale you're on or the exhale. Notice perhaps where your mind has taken you during Shavasana. Come back to the power of love. If you love something, love it completely. Cherish it, say it, but most importantly, show it. Love is finite and fragile, and just because something is there for one day, it might not be there the next. Never take that for granted. Say what you need to say, perhaps even say a little more at times. Perhaps even at times we need to say too much, show too much, love too much. Everything is temporary, but love outlives us all. As you take a deep inhale, letting the breath go, perhaps making some gentle movements, rolling over to one side. If you feel to finish your practice seated, just taking your time to come into a seated posture, or just lying down if you feel that. Again, as we started the practice, feel that grounding with the lower half of the body and then lift up softly. As we love and give love, make sure that you're completely grounded. Let's take a deep inhale in through the nose, a big letting go sigh out the mouth. Bring your hands to your heart space. You learn to speak by speaking. You learn to study by studying. You learn to run by running. You learn to work by working. And just like love, you learn to love by loving. Begin as a mere apprentice, and the very power of love will lead you to become a master of the art.
Keeping the eyes closed, let's just take a stretch of the spine, reaching the arms all the way up, perhaps over the crown of the head. And as you exhale, bring the hands to your heart space. The power of love, it can transform you from being angry to a kind person, from being selfish to becoming selfless, from being irritated to becoming considerate. Love can change people in ways that they may not even know. That is the power of love. And like everything, it starts with ourselves and then ripples out. Namaste.
Thank you for joining us for Stretch and Flow with Rashi. We hope you've enjoyed the class. Please subscribe and make sure if you have any questions, please send an email, get in touch some way. Once again, thank you and have a great day.